Joining me now, Fred Fleitz, national security expert, president of the Center for Security Policy. Fred, great to have you here. A lot to consider tonight in national security, and that is, let's begin first with the strikes that the Israelis are now conducting against the terrorist sites in Gaza. Your reaction?
Well, first of all, Lou, don't mess with Israel. And second of all, this is the same Israeli government that Congresswoman Omar and Tel Aviv are constantly criticizing for being too harsh against the Palestinians, of doing too much to defend themselves. That's this government. Israel's surrounded by enemies. It fights aggressively to defend its security. That's what we should think about when we hear these slurs and attacks by ill-informed people in Congress who are saying otherwise.
And in counterpoint, the United States, without response to relentless cyber attacks by the Chinese over the course of the past 5 years. During that period, those attacks focusing on the United States Navy, which did not respond, did not carry out counterstrikes, and defense contractors as well. In many cases, some of those defense contractors not even acknowledging or reporting that they had been under cyber attack by China. Is that because, in your judgment, Fred, the United States is incapable of responding a counterattack, an effective counterattack in cyberspace against China?
I think there's a lot of blame to go around here. First of all, according to the Wall Street Journal's story on this issue, defense contractors for the Navy were supposed to self-report their cyber vulnerabilities and compromises. Can you imagine that?
No, Fred, I hold the Obama administration, the United States Navy, the Defense Department responsible. What idiot would think that a defense contractor would automatically comply with such a voluntary suggestion of reporting a strike when, in fact, billions of dollars are on the line and they wouldn't want to jeopardize it? That was a fool's incentive, if you will.
It's exactly right. It's not the worst part of this article, but, you know, I'm really concerned about our intelligence agencies. We stood up 4 separate intelligence offices since 2009 to defend us against cyber attacks. The Pentagon has one, CIA has one, DNI has one. There's one under the Department of Homeland Security. NSA is involved. FBI is involved. Lou, I want to know, did these guys drop the ball? And are they cooperating? You know, we're spending tens of billions of dollars on cyber defenses, and we need to get to the bottom of is this money being well spent?
Well, I can answer that, I believe. The fact is that there has been no penalty for those constant, unrelenting cyber attacks by China. There has been no consequence. There has been no punishment, no counterstrike. My God, Fred, what in the world is our government doing?
You know, I don't know if you remember the story of Monica Witt. She was an Air Force counterintelligence officer who was indicted last month for defecting to Iran. Well, Bill Gertz wrote a great article in the Wall Street Journal about how outrageous this was and how this case was bungled so badly. He entitled his article, "An Indictment Exposes America's Witless Intelligence Agencies." The head of our counterintelligence service wrote an angry letter referring to Bill's article as an uninformed affront, and said that this is just an occasional setback. You know, Lou, it's bad enough these things are happening, but when our
sounds like he was in the British aristocracy in the 19th century in forming that
but it's
missive.
Denial. It's not just that it happened, it's that our officials are in denial. I mean, this guy has to be held accountable.
We can't afford to have those officials, and what are we going to do about it?
Well,
but the American people have to know, you know, they have time for their chiefs to go enter domestic politics attacking the President of the United States, but not sufficient time nor talent to effectively defend the nation against cyber attacks.
Overall, Bill Gertz says we're spending $60 billion in counterintelligence a year. That money has to be accounted for. And I think more than that, we have to look at the entire U.S. intelligence program to see where the counterintelligence is prioritized. I can tell you, in my work in intelligence, I was a CIA analyst for 19 years. Counterintelligence was not a priority, and it was sometimes considered an annoyance to intelligence officials.
Well, bless the little darlings' hearts. It would be nice to have that capability and for the president to have at his disposal an arsenal of resources with which to respond to China.
Amen.
Fred, thanks so much, as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fred Fleitz.